Previously, on Jimmy Barnes.
Act of kindness, Ryan Milky 14. Fudge. He's a fudge fanatic. Ah, blimey. Pig nuts, pork, knobby's nuts. I just like peanuts. Big D, perfect. Oh, I feel a bit of a dickhead. Aya! Welcome! I've received yet another act of kindness. Not too long after the brilliant one from Nick and Melody that I received, full of nuts and snacks, sweets, chocolate, and a lovely note that I think was written by Melody rather than Nick, but it was from both of them. It was a double effort, the whole AOK. And I've received something else. I knew this was coming. It's not the one from Ryan that I kept mentioning in the previous AOK video, because that's what I thought it was at first. So Ryan, I don't know what's happened to yours. Maybe it got held up in the postal system. Hopefully by the time this video is going out on my YouTube channel, I will have received that and shot the video. But as of me recording it today, that's not arrived. This one is from someone who has sent me an act of kindness before. Andrew, aka Funko Collector, United Kingdom, aka FCUK AOK. And I know it's from him because handily he's written FCUK and AOK on my address label. So thank you for that, Andrew. Saves any embarrassment like last time when I was crediting the wrong person or the wrong people. And also, I think I know what this is because Andrew put up a video the previous weekend where he'd been to a couple of car boot sales, and then he had a little look around Lincoln, and he mentioned me when he was sort of rooting through some of these record bins at car boot sales, and there was one record that he got out in particular, and he sort of held the camera on it for quite a while, and then afterwards, after I left a comment on his video, he said, "Oh, I did get you something," and I thought, yeah, I think I know what that is. It's the thing that you lingered on when you were shooting your car boot stuff. So I could be wrong, but if I was a betting man, I would say that that's what this is. So I think this is going to be a record that's come in this big jiffy bag. Andrew won't be a record guy as in someone who sends records out regularly. This might be the first time he's ever sent a vinyl LP out to somebody. This will be packaged perfectly safe, as I can see plenty of bubble wrap. I don't know if it's extra bubble wrap that Andrew has added, or if it's like the lining of this jiffy envelope. I think it's extra, actually. Yeah, it is. Plenty of extra. And he's used some card as well from an old box. So yeah, if you're sending records out but you've not got any record mailers, and they're easy enough to order, be it from eBay or specialist record websites, if you're in a rush to send something out that's vinyl record shape, just cut up some cardboard, sandwich it in between the cardboard, put some bubble wrap around it, into a jiffy envelope, jobs are good, and there we are. Almost in. Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was. Thank you, Andrew. I didn't know he was going to buy me this, but he said, "Oh, I'm sending you something." Ah. Brilliant. Love it. Love it. What he sent me is a Monty Python record. And this is the worst of Monty Python's Flying Circus. So this is an interesting proposition. I mean, this was quite common for BBC shows, comedies mainly, in the 1970s and a bit into the 1980s. Where, because video recorders weren't commonplace at all, hardly any households had any until the late 70s, early 80s. If you wanted sort of a record, figuratively speaking, as well as literally, if you wanted sort of your favourite comedy show, Python being the example here, to play back, you had to really get it in audio format. And the main audio format, of course, of the 1970s was vinyl LP. So this will have some sketches on it. There might be a bit of music on it. There'll certainly be the theme tune. I've been tempted by some Monty Python records quite recently, to be honest, because they've had some reissues of like the Holy Grail soundtrack and the Life of Brian soundtrack. And getting this from Funko Collector UK today has really sort of made me think, oh, do I want to get those soundtracks? Because I think there are a couple of picture disc editions which look really good, make a brilliant mail opening. I mean, just the sort of back of it just sort of reeks of the 70s to me. I love the concept. I mean, even though it's kind of seems a little bit sort of archaic and anachronistic now to get like a radio version, you could say, of a TV sketch show on disc. It kind of seems sort of 50 years sort of out of place, really, but I love it. And there's some fun sleeve notes on the back from Ian McNaughton, who I think was a Python producer and or director. It's got some, what I think might be real newspaper reviews, actually. I'll read those properly later. Have a little look at the disc. Now, as you can see, the actual sleeve itself seen better days, but this probably only cost Andrew, like, what, 50p or something like that. It's a proper BBC record label issue as well. Fantastic. Andrew, thank you so much. Didn't expect you to send me this. What year? 1970 this came out. So 51 years old now, this record. This was probably the first ever Monty Python record ever released. And I know there's quite a few that came out in the 70s, but the show itself only started in 1969. So this is likely to be sort of your first Flying Circus compilation. I mean, now we could just sort of watch Flying Circus and whatever else Python have got on offer on Netflix, and there's some nice Blu-ray sets out as well from Network on Air. But back in the day, before my time, if you wanted Python just to play whenever you wanted, this was how you had to do it. You couldn't see it, you just had to listen to it on your hi-fi. And you know what, I think there's something pretty cool and quaint about that. And look at the artwork, I mean, fantastic. There's yellow in at the top. But this record is an original issue. It's a mono LP as well, but it's mostly going to be spoken word, so it doesn't really need to be stereo. You know, I think that this has survived as long as it has, over half a century, and remained in good condition, and hopefully it sounds good. It's pretty playable as well. Obviously, I will try that out at a later date. Absolutely brilliant. Monty Python's best of, or worst of, the Flying Circus on vinyl record. And now I'm really tempted to buy those soundtrack LPs, because I'm a Python fan, and I did have all the Python, like the TV series and all the movies, in a DVD box set some years ago. But when I found out that they were all being transferred to Netflix, I sold those. But Netflix don't have stuff forever. Netflix are often losing the license or having to drop certain stuff, so I'm not saying all the Monty Python library is going to be on there indefinitely. So I may well want to pick up the Blu-rays of the Flying Circus, certainly. Because as much as I love the movies, the Flying Circus, the TV series, the original sketch show, that's always been my favourite. It's always going to be my favourite. So very appropriate AOK from Andrew here with the Flying Circus LP. So many thanks, Andrew. I really appreciate that. You didn't have to. I know this won't have cost you much. In fact, you would have paid probably quadruple the amount to post it to me than what it cost, I'm guessing. But I still appreciate that. Really love the fact that you saw this at a car boot and you thought of me because A, you know I collect vinyl LPs, and B, you know that I'm a big Monty Python nut as well. Perfect AOK, really. I really appreciate that, my friend. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this mail opening. Thank you especially, as always, to my wonderful subscribers and patrons. Speaking of Patreon, the link to that where you can help support my channel and the work that I do upon it, that's down in the description below. I'm going to go now, and what else but give the worst of Monty Python's Flying Circus. What a cool sleeve. Instantly one of my favourite record sleeves in my collection, this. Give this a spin and enjoy Monty Python, pre-recorded Python, how it was back in the day before VHS tapes. And if you're so young you don't even know what a VHS tape is, getcha. And I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next act of kindness and record mail opening video. Cheers everyone. See ya!